Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Greetings everybody, guys. Let's take a look at the Bitcoin market. As usual on Monday, situation here has changed significantly. So because market on Friday has erased the pattern that we have discussed, and the hand shoulders pattern that we talked about on daily chart has not been formed, as market has climbed above the right arm stop and continue action above the head. So we have warned you about this in a report, and we said if market will not turn down in an area of 83 even, where we were waiting for top of the right arm stance and continue upward action, it will mean that hand shoulders will not be formed, and most probably that it will fail and market could proceed action higher. So in the current circumstances, guys, as you remember, we actually have the bullish context, and that's why we're mostly watching for the retracement. And for daily analysis for our major context, we actually do not worry about how in particular retracement will start, because we do not have an intention to trade it, since our major context is bullish, and we just wait for a moderate pullback just to get the acceptable area for taking the strategical position for a long-term perspective. We talk about the possible bearish context, bearish setups on intraday charts, just to explain how the one or another retracement could start, and just if people will see it, that the predefined analysis starts to work, so they should be ready that everything is going well, and we should keep an eye on the possible area of our particular interest where we would like to take the long position. So in current situation, as you understand, the trading Bitcoin market on the short side is a bit really risky. It of course could be, it is possible, but the chances to get trapped in the wrong direction currently is very significant. So in continuation of our former previous discussion, now the context on the weekly chart mostly stands the same. So we're still waiting for a moderate pullback on the Bitcoin market, because the previous momentum is strong and it stands down, and it was standing approximately almost 1.5 of the year. So that is actually first bullish swing to upside after the long-term downward action, and sooner or later, but deep retracement here should happen. Last week we haven't got it, although the first sign was really positive, and you could see, I mean, in terms of retracement, this was downside week, and it was seemed that indeed maybe this particular the retracement has started, especially because, as you know, on the intraday charts, market has hit our major SOP target. But last week we see again the upward action above the top. It could mean that different pattern is forming here, not the hand shoulders, but something different should be formed. At the same time, guys, take a look that we're coming to the major 30% resistance on the weekly chart. This is 95.68, 95.70 approximately. This is all-time 30% resistance from this top to this bottom. This will be 30%. And that's really something. So this is a valuable point, and that's particularly the area where maybe indeed retracement could start. So at least those of you who keep the long positions should keep in mind this area, because it could become important for your money management, for your trading management. Second moment that I would like to talk on our weekly chart is targets. So as we do not have the targets inside of the swing anymore, just because market already has hit the ultimate target, we have two chances. First, we could use extensions of this most recent swing down, just to estimate some possible upside target. One of them stands, by the way, near the 10 even area, so 127 extension. Or we need to increase the scale. But the tricky moment stands that we do not have any other ABCDs inside of this swing just to create the greater extension to estimate the greater target. That's why here we have the only chances to use the all-time ABCD pattern. So that's recent action is BC. The A point stands at the $100 right at the beginning of the trading of the Bitcoin market. This is the low, all-time low. And this calculation provides us the target around 1535. So this is the 50,000 area. It's all-time COP target. It's first long-term destination target that market probably should hit on the way up. It will be continuing. Closer targets we could estimate on the lower time frames, but that's two important moments on the weekly right now. This resistance and all-time nearest targets is the COP. It's 1535 approximately. So on the daily chart, we need to keep an eye on a different pattern. So remember that first we talked about the possible hand and shoulders, but as soon as market has moved above the 83 even, with this significant breakout, that was clear sign that no hand shoulders will be formed and the market continue upward action. Now, another pattern that could be formed here is a three drive sell. Why are we still watching for possible bearish reversal patterns? By the same reason. So because this is first breaking of the momentum, the changing of the momentum. And the previous bearish momentum is not disappeared, it's still on the market. And will press on the prices to push it lower and to trigger the deep retracement. Besides, guys, 94, 97, here is major weekly resistance. That combination creates very big odds to start retracement. So the technical analysis, this is the science of the odds. So it means that we're not correct in any analysis, but in general, in the large amount of analysis, following the odds stands in our favor. So that's why in current situation, odds suggest that chances on the pullback here are significant. Besides, if you plot here the MACD indicator, you'll see the great divergence with this area, with these tops. And actually, market also is forming here a kind of the wedge action. So this is very typical when the three drive is forming. Calculation of the extensions of these swings creates good agreement. So if you'll see, this stands approximately 127, 1.4 that to this top. If you will use this area, it will be approximately 127 here. It's also approximately 127 will be here, and it coincides with the 1618 of the first drive. So the overall ratios in this pattern looks not bad. So we could treat it as the free drive. So it means that potentially market could climb slightly higher, hit major resistance to hit this target, and then we should be careful as market could start downward action. Again, guys, we do not call you to trade Bitcoin right now on the short side of the market. This pattern, this reversal pattern, retracement, is interest for us because we trying to use it for taking the long position. And when we see the signs that retracement started, well, it means that the entry point stands close, and we should just control the overall situation. But at the same time, it's not forbidden to trade it on the bearish side. If you have the confidence and you searching chance to take the short position, you could consider this possible scenario. So this choice is up to you. So depends on where you're trading, on the intraday charts, on the daily time frame. So it will be different approach to the market. Now on the 4-hour time frame chart, that's the last chart in the report. What we have, that is 1.7 extension that we have, 95.40 approximately. It coincides with the major weekly resistance. It coincides with the three drive target. If you would like to, you could imagine here in some butterfly pattern. We have the not bad thrust action to the upside, and if market indeed would climb, hit this target, it could be the double repo could be formed. So if you still decide to trade it short, just keep an eye on this possibility, because maybe with this double repo could start the action on the daily three drive. So market could climb slightly high, hit this target, and drop down, and the double repo sell could become the pattern that could trigger this action. So, but this is all mostly the tactical questions. Maybe some different pattern could be formed. Anyway, currently, guys, we stand at the weekly resistance, and market is forming the three drive sell on the daily. Definitely, it's not the moment for taking the long position. Speaking about trading short, we already said everything. So that's decisions up to you. Where keep watching for price action, and let's hope that market will provide us moderate retracement. Well, we finally could take the position on the Bitcoin market.